730 women are currently living underwater for months at a time. They share bathrooms with dozens of men, sleep in spaces smaller than coffins, and they can't leave for 3 to 6 months straight. These aren't prisoners, they're America's submarine heroes. The USS New Jersey recently made history as the first submarine ever built, from the ground up, for both men and women to serve together. But here's what nobody really talks about. Women submariners have a 75% re-enlistment success rate. That's actually higher than men at 74%. So how are they doing it? The answer may surprise you. The United States Navy has been breaking barriers since 2010. That was the year the ban preventing women from serving on submarines was finally removed. But the true story isn't just about breaking barriers, it's about survival. Mental survival, physical survival, and proving that courage has no gender. Right now, while you're watching this video, 730 women are serving aboard 38 different submarines. They work as officers, engineers, sonar technicians, and weapons specialists. Every deployment lasts anywhere from 3 months to 6 months underwater inside a space smaller than most people's homes, alongside up to 150 male crew members. The closest comparison would be living in a crowded apartment building where you can never step outside, where everyone breathes the same air, drinks the same water, and shares the same mission, where one mistake could put every life on board in danger. If you're proud of these incredible women serving our country, type "proud" in the comments below. But surviving underwater isn't only about toughness, it's about intelligent design, careful preparation, and a culture that has evolved over the last 14 years. Today, we're going inside the world's most advanced submarines to discover exactly how America's female submariners don't just survive, they thrive. The reality of submarine life. Step aboard the USS Missouri during a 6-month deployment. The first thing you notice isn't the advanced technology, it's the lack of space. A nuclear submarine measures 337 feet long. Sounds massive, right? Wrong. Nearly 1/3 of that space is occupied by the nuclear reactor and propulsion systems. The remaining area must house between 130 and 150 crew members for months at a time. Your bedroom, a rack stacked 3 levels high with 2 other bunks. The mattress sits inside what submariners call an aluminum coffin. Beneath your mattress is a 5-inch deep storage compartment for every personal belonging you own. That's it. Your clothes, photos, books, and everything else for 6 months must fit inside that tiny space. The USS Missouri spent 163 days underwater during a 181-day deployment. That means for more than 5 months, crew members saw no sunlight, breathed no fresh air, and had almost no contact with the outside world, except during the 18 days they surfaced. Privacy simply doesn't exist in the traditional sense. Officers share rooms with 3 people, and they can't all stand at the same time without bumping into one another. Enlisted sailors sleep in berthing areas, lined with rows of bunks, separated only by curtains. Until recently, communication with home was extremely limited. Email could only come and go whenever the submarine surfaced. Messages might only be sent around 20 times during an entire 6-month deployment. Every signal transmitted risks, revealing the submarine's location. Secrecy isn't just protocol, it's survival. But here's what makes submariners different. They volunteered for this life. Every single sailor on board chose it. That shared commitment creates something remarkable. A brotherhood and sisterhood built on sacrifice, breaking the gender barrier. The year was 2010. Defense Secretary Robert Gates made an announcement that changed naval history forever. The ban on women serving aboard submarines was officially removed, but that was only the beginning. The first female officers reported to Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines in 2011. These weren't small attack submarines, they were the largest submarines in the U.S. fleet, selected specifically because they offered more space and multiple bathrooms, areas that could be adapted for mixed-gender crews. Lieutenant Commander Andrea Howard and Lieutenant Commander Emma McCarthy were among those first pioneers. They encountered challenges male submariners never had to think about. Equipment built for the average American male height, periscopes positioned too high, valves requiring greater upper body strength to operate. But these women didn't complain, they adapted. They proved themselves through the exact same demanding training as their male counterparts. They earned their dolphins, the respected insignia worn by qualified submariners. They became part of the nuclear family. The next major breakthrough came in 2015, when enlisted women officially joined the force. Chief Petty Officer Angela Kugler became the first female chief of the boat in 2022. That role serves as the senior enlisted advisor to the commanding officer and is one of the most respected positions on any submarine. By 2024, the numbers tell an incredible story. 87 female officer accessions and 400 enlisted accessions joined the submarine force. That represents 20% of officer accessions and nearly 10% of enlisted accessions, the biggest single-year increase since integration began. But here's the truly remarkable part. Women aren't just surviving in this environment, they're excelling. Female officers have a 29% retention rate for department head positions, 1.5% higher than their male peers. Enlisted women re-enlist at a 75% rate, compared to 74% for men. The U.S. Navy expects to appoint its first female submarine commanding officer by 2028. These aren't participation trophies. These are combat leaders earning their positions through merit, discipline, and excellence. September 14, 2024 became a historic date. The USS New Jersey officially became the first submarine designed from the ground up for complete gender integration. This wasn't about modifying older submarines. It was about completely rethinking what a modern submarine could become. The biggest change? Doors. Lots of doors. Previous submarines used curtains for privacy. The New Jersey introduced solid doors. Berthing areas now include separate sections with secure lockable doors. Washrooms gained additional partitions and upgraded privacy features. But the improvements go far beyond privacy. Overhead valves were lowered and redesigned to be easier to operate. Steps were added in front of triple-high bunks and stacked washing machines. These may sound like small adjustments, but during a 3-month patrol, they make an enormous difference. The submarine's medical facilities were also upgraded to support women's specific healthcare needs. This includes proper medication storage, disposal systems for feminine hygiene products, and protocols for pregnancy-related medical situations. Virginia-class submarines include 4 officer staterooms with 3 racks each, giving space for 12 officers. Since most submarines carry more than 12 officers, junior officers often sleep with enlisted crew members. The New Jersey's design ensures this setup functions effectively for both men and women. The Columbia-class ballistic missile submarines, America's newest strategic deterrent, will include all these design improvements. They'll even feature step stools for shorter sailors to operate the periscope effectively. These submarines represent a $3 billion investment in gender integration. But more importantly, they represent recognition that diverse crews are stronger crews. Different perspectives solve problems more effectively. Different experiences build better teams. Survival strategies. How do you maintain your sanity while trapped underwater with 150 people for 3 months? Over time, submariners developed a complex social code that makes survival possible. Rule number 1. No politics. Political conversations are banned aboard submarines. In a confined environment where tensions can escalate quickly, avoiding divisive topics keeps the peace. Rule number 2, silence matters. No slamming doors, no shouting, no unnecessary noise. Someone is always sleeping because submarines operate around the clock using rotating shifts. Rule number 3, personal space is sacred. In an environment where physical privacy barely exists, respect becomes everything. You don't touch someone else's belongings. You don't enter someone's rack space without permission. You give people mental space even when physical space is impossible. Women have also developed their own survival methods. Female submariners often create informal support networks. Senior women mentor junior sailors. They share practical advice on everything from modifying uniforms to handling the challenges of being heavily outnumbered. The buddy system works differently as well. Male submariners may relieve stress through physical competition or crude humor. Female submariners often rely on quieter coping mechanisms like reading, writing, calm conversations, and maintaining connections with home whenever possible. Sleep becomes one of the most valuable things on board. Submariners work 8-hour shifts, but that doesn't guarantee 8 hours of rest. Maintenance, drills, training exercises, and emergency situations can interrupt sleep at any moment. Women submariners have learned to maximize every opportunity to rest. Food plays a massive role in morale. Submarine cooks are considered some of the best in the Navy because quality meals are one of the few comforts available during deployment. Female submariners often appreciate the variety more than male sailors, who may focus more on quantity. Exercise takes place in the torpedo room whenever it's not being used for weapons storage. Creative workout routines using submarine equipment help sailors maintain both physical and mental health. Women frequently organize group workouts that strengthen camaraderie while keeping everyone fit. Not every story has been positive. Integrating women into submarine service hasn't happened without serious problems. The early years included incidents that threatened the future of the entire program. Between 2011 and 2015, several cases involved female crew members being secretly recorded by male sailors in showers and changing areas. These weren't minor violations. They resulted in criminal investigations, courts-martial, and dismissals from the Navy. The Royal Navy faced even more serious accusations in 2024. Internal investigations uncovered widespread sexual harassment, bullying, and even within their submarine service. Women reported degrading treatment, unwanted physical contact, and retaliation after reporting incidents. But here's what made the American submarine force different: leadership commitment. When problems emerged, they were confronted directly and decisively. Zero-tolerance policies were enforced. Cultural training became mandatory. The message from leadership was unmistakable. Harassment would destroy careers. The U.S. Navy learned from those early failures. Comprehensive training programs were introduced for all crew members. Sexual harassment prevention became part of submarine qualification training. Reporting systems were improved and protected. Senior leaders accepted personal responsibility. Female submariners themselves became part of the solution. They spoke out when they witnessed misconduct. They supported one another during difficult situations. They proved women could handle the physical and mental demands of submarine service while maintaining professionalism and dignity. And the results speak for themselves. Women continue to re-enlist at higher rates than men. Promotion rates remain highly competitive. Most importantly, mission effectiveness has improved as diverse crews bring different skills and perspectives to complex operations. The USS Wyoming made headlines when 15 enlisted women completed the first all-female deterrent patrol in submarine history. These sailors, ranging from junior crew members to senior chiefs, proved that gender integration wasn't just possible. It was highly effective. Their performance statistics tell the story. Training completion rates for women match or exceed those of men. Equipment casualty rates show no difference between male and female operators. Mission success rates remain at 100% for submarines operating with integrated crews. The submarine force continues expanding its integration efforts. Current plans call for 39 integrated boat crews by 2033, exceeding the original target of 33 by 2030. This expansion reflects the program's success and the Navy's growing confidence in mixed-gender submarine crews. All future Virginia-class attack submarines and Columbia-class ballistic missile submarines will be designed with gender integration from the start. The era of retrofitting older submarines is coming to an end. New construction means purpose-built equality. The strategic importance of this cannot be overstated. America's submarine force remains the most powerful and advanced in the world. These submarines conduct the nation's most sensitive and critical missions, from strategic nuclear deterrence to intelligence gathering and special operations support. Submarines are America's hidden shield beneath the ocean. Adding women to these crews isn't only about fairness, although fairness matters. It's about effectiveness. Diverse teams solve complicated problems more efficiently. Different perspectives catch details others might miss. Varied backgrounds produce creative operational solutions. The Navy has discovered that submarines with integrated crews often outperform all-male crews during training scenarios. Communication improves, professionalism increases, the focus shifts away from social dynamics and toward mission accomplishment. This transformation goes beyond individual submarines. The entire submarine community has evolved. Standards remain extremely high, but culture has improved. Professional behavior is expected and enforced. Merit determines advancement, not gender. 730 women are proving every single day that courage, skill, and dedication have no gender limits. They serve in the most demanding environment in the U.S. military, excel at the highest levels, and pave the way for future generations. These aren't stories about surviving despite being women. These are stories about succeeding because they are exceptional submariners who happen to be women. They earned their place through the same rigorous training the same high standards, and the same commitment to excellence as every submariner before them. The first female submarine commanding officer is expected to take command in 2028. She will lead a crew of men and women united by a shared commitment to serve America beneath the waves. That moment will represent not just a milestone for women in the military, but a victory for American naval excellence. The future of America's submarine force includes everyone qualified to serve. Gender does not determine capability. Character does, skill does, dedication does, and these women possess all three in abundance. Thanks for watching this deep dive into America's underwater heroes. If this video opened your eyes to the incredible service of female submariners, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about the brave men and women defending our nation. Until next time, remember this: heroes come in many forms, and some of them are serving right now, hundreds of feet beneath the ocean's surface.